If you're looking for some fun and practical sewing projects to make for a little kid, then you're in the right place. But first, some bloopers. And ask Smoject. Whoa! Subscribe button. Yeah, eat what? Sneeze? Coming? Going? Ugh. Hi crafty people! Today I'm sharing with you my top 10 sewing projects to make for a little kid. These are perfect for a toddler or preschooler age kid, although older kids might be interested in these projects too. So if you're looking for inspiration of what to maybe make someone for Christmas or a birthday gift, or just something that you would like to sew for your own kid, then I think that I have some really great ideas to share with you today. I'm a mum to 4 kids and their ages are 5, 3.5, 2 and 8 months old. So all of the projects I'm sharing today are suitable for my older 3 kids in that kind of toddler and preschooler age range, and they're all things that they have really enjoyed that I have made for them. I've previously made a video before about best things to sew for a baby, so if that would interest you, I'll have that video linked in the description box so you can watch it after this. Also linked in the description box will be my Instagram if you want to follow me over there. And also while you're down there, why not subscribe? My name's Marie if you're new, and this channel is all about motivating mums to make and mend. I do hope that you feel motivated to make one of these projects after you've watched this video today. So with all of that being said, let's start with our projects.
Best little kid project.
The first sewing project I'm sharing today are bucket hats. These 2 bucket hats are some that I have made for my kids. This is Elijah's and this is the one I've most recently made for Alice. These are a practical item because they keep kids safe in the sun, but they're also really easy to customize so that it suits the kids' interests and personality. This hat here of Elijah's has dinosaurs on one side and trucks on the other. And this one here is the one I most recently have made. This is for Alice. I made it for her 2nd birthday, and it has fish on one side and these kind of glittery, sparkly stars on the other side. I've made a video before about how to sew a bucket hat, so I'll leave that video linked in the description box, along with any of the other videos that I mentioned today. So that's our first project, is a bucket hat. The second project is suitable for the opposite kind of weather, and that is splash pants. My kids have enjoyed using these over the winter. They are a waterproof overall that the kids can wear over their clothes when they are puddle jumping or playing on wet playground equipment or just generally out and about on a wet day. These pants are made out of soft shell fleece, so they're water resistant on the outside and then they're nice and warm and fuzzy on the inside. These ones here are Elijah's, and I've made some for each of my kids, and we've really enjoyed using them this winter. And the way that they're made, they will grow with our kids because I've made the straps nice and long so that as they grow taller, I'm able to move the snaps down the strap, so I know that they'll be able to use these for a lot of winters to come. So if you're heading into some cold and rainy weather where you live, then I recommend making some splash pants. Project number 3 is a set of play silks. Now, I haven't actually used silk to make these, I've just used any sort of random fabrics that I had already, but a set of play silks is a really great way to encourage imaginative play with your toddlers and preschoolers. My kids like to use these play silks in their dress ups as capes or as scarves. They also like to use them as the ground underneath their teddies or their little toy animals if they're playing a game and they're imagining that that is the ground underneath them. Or they like to use them as blankets over their teddies or dollies as well. So all you have to do is just buy any sort of fabric and just hem the edges to make sure they won't fray. Or you can buy a fabric like this polar fleece here, which won't even fray, and it's literally just a piece of fabric, no sewing involved. There you go, instant play silk. There are so many different ways that kids come up with to play with play silks, so I encourage you to just get a few pieces of fabric in different colours, hem them, and just see what your kid comes up with. Another great thing for imaginative play are bags. Kids in this toddler and preschooler age range love to be able to collect all their favourite things and carry them around the house with them. So having a few bags that you intentionally make just to be left empty really encourages kids to use them in a creative way. My kids pretend to go shopping and put things in their bags, or they make little libraries with their books, or they use their bags to pretend they have a nappy bag for their dolls. There are a lot of different ways that kids come up with to play with just an empty bag. This one here was upcycled from a pair of old jeans, so they like to play with that one with a longer handle. And this one here is actually one that my mum made me. It's a library bag that I used to use when I was a little kid, and now my kids like to use this too. I also have plans to make my kids some little drawstring backpacks. So if you would like to see that video, don't forget to subscribe so that when that video comes out, you'll be able to see it too. So bags are a really practical and fun item for you to make for a kid. And a different sort of bag this time, item number 5, are actually bean bags. I made a set of bean bags for my kids and I shared that video, the first video on my channel actually, so you can watch that after if you want to. But a bean bag is a really fun activity for a toddler or a preschooler. They're able to develop their gross motor skills through the throwing and catching of bean bags. They're a little bit easier to manipulate than a ball which will roll away. These could also be used as a way to encourage collaborative play, to encourage teamwork as kids throw and catch with each other. Project number 6 are dress ups. There are so many different options of what you could sew to make dress ups, and kids always have a great time playing with them. So I have here on my lap a pile of some of the dress ups that either I've made or that my mum's made that I used when I was a kid. And I would love to make more dress ups for my kids because I know this is something that they really enjoy playing with. But I'll go through with you some of the dress ups that I have here. You could make dress ups of animals. So this is a set of little leopard ears and tail that my mum made. And I have also previously made some little bear ears, which I used to be the 3 bears. So I've got 3 sets of little bear headbands like this. I also have here the Goldilocks wig that I made. And we've also got a baby bib here, a reversible one like this. I've got a scarf, some suspenders, they're always fun, a big oversized bow tie, a glittery little skirt, and this one here is a Little Red Riding Hood that my mum made when I was a little kid. So that is just a few options of what is really a very broad category of things that you could make for dress ups. And as I make more in the future, I'll add any other videos of dress ups to a little dress up playlist in case you're interested in sewing any of them as well. But dress ups are definitely a hit with toddlers and preschoolers, so I really recommend that as a project too. Project number 7 is probably the toy that is most loved and most used by a kid in this toddler and preschooler age range, and that is a stuffed toy. Every kid seems to have their beloved stuffed toy, and what could be better than having it be one that you have made for them? Now, I personally haven't actually made any stuffed toys yet, although I do have 2 different patterns that I'm looking forward to making in the future. I contacted 2 different shops that sell sewing patterns to make stuffed animals, and I let them know that I was sharing them in this video today, and both of them have very generously shared with me a discount code for me to give you in case you would like to buy one of their patterns too. The first shop that I'm sharing with you is MINKY and Friends Australia, and they have so many different animal patterns that you can pick from, and they're these really cute little animals with really nice little features, and the patterns also come with various clothes that fit on the teddies as well. So I think that they are a really cute pattern that I would like to try coming up next year. The second shop that I'm sharing is called Bon Patterns, and she sells stuffed animal patterns that are slightly larger, and they also come with clothing, and I think they are adorable too. I'm really looking forward to making one of her patterns. I'm thinking maybe a cat. I'm not really sure yet, but our kids don't have a stuffed cat, so I think that might be a nice addition to our collection. But there are so many different choices on her site as well. So again, if you would like to make a stuffed animal, both of those shops are linked in the description box, and their Instagrams and the information about their discount codes. So if you would like to make a stuffed animal, I really recommend both of those shops. Not that I have sewn with them before, but they look really great and I'm looking forward to using them in the future. Item number 8 is somewhat related to making a stuffed animal, and that is making clothing and accessories for stuffed animals or for dolls. Now, I did say in my sewing goals for this year that I was going to make doll clothes for my kids this year. And it's currently October, and have I done it yet? No. So far, the only doll clothes I have made is this little skirt here, which matches the one that fits Alice. But other than that, I haven't made any doll clothes. But it's okay, because it's October. I still have time to get it done by this year, so we'll see about that. But I have made a few other doll accessories, not clothes so much, but I've made some little sleeping bags here for their dollies. And these have been great because my kids like to pretend that their dolls are wrapped up like my baby is. He sleeps in a sleeping bag in a sleep sack, and they like to pretend that their doll is in a sleep sack too. These sleep sacks are just velcroed at the top here so that they can get their dollies in and out, and then the velcro sits on their shoulder, and other than that it's just sewn around the bottom of the bag like that. And the other thing they use a lot is this little pillow and quilt that they made for their dollies too. And I say they made because my kids actually helped me to sew this. They sat on my lap and they picked out the colours they wanted, and they helped to sew around the straight edges of the little quilt that they made and the little cushion. So they're really proud that they assisted in making these, and they get a lot of use out of these with their little dollies. Following on from making a doll blanket, project number 9 is making a blanket for your toddler or preschooler. So hang on a second. And we're back. Here are 2 blankets that have been made for my kids that we really enjoy using. This one here was crocheted by my auntie, and this is for Elijah. He has this on his bed every day and he really loves it. It's a beautiful, really soft, cuddly, beautifully colored blanket that she has made, and it really is a treasure for our family. So if you know how to crochet, then that would be an option for you to make. Or if you're looking for a sewing project, you could also sew a blanket for a kid as well. This blanket here was made by my friend Janine. She actually sewed blankets for all 4 of my kids, and they each have an embroidered name on the top and then a little animal picture, and they are the perfect size and weight blanket for a toddler. These ones are made out of flannelette, so they're really soft and cuddly, and my kids really enjoy having these on their beds as well. So I recommend making one in this size and style for a little kid. They have been great. This one here I pulled off of Alice's bed before she had a nap. And the other option of making a blanket for a kid is to make a quilt. I personally feel really quite intimidated by quilting because I know it's a very specific skill, one that I haven't ever done before, but it's something that I might like to try in the future. If you are interested in making a quilt, then I really want to recommend the Stitch Salon. This is a website where there are curated bundles of fabric to make certain quilts with, which to me sounds a lot less intimidating of a way to start quilting. The intimidating part for me about quilting are the mass array of different quilting fabrics and patterns and techniques, and trying to work out where to start basically. It sounds very intimidating, but the benefit of using a website like the Stitch Salon is that you can pick a bundle of fabric that matches a pattern and know that you've got everything you need to make that project. I think a handmade quilt is a beautiful gift to give someone, and something that can be really treasured by that child as they grow up. So I will leave the Stitch Salon website linked down below as well, and you can check it out for different curated bunches of fabric or patterns that you might like to make, and there are even some completed projects there if you want to buy a handmade quilt already made. And all of them are in these lovely muted toned modern fabrics. They look really nice. So I really recommend, if you want to make a quilt, that you check out their website, so I'll link that down below for you as well. The last project that I'm sharing with you today are art smocks. Toddlers and preschoolers are at the messiest age, so an art smock is a great thing for them to have so that they're able to do messy or creative or sensory play without getting their clothes all messy. My last video that I shared was actually how to make art smocks like this, so if you're interested in making one, that video will be linked in the description box for you to check out. I think an art smock would make a really cute gift along with some sort of sensory activity like some tubs of Play-Doh or some paint and paintbrushes or some kinetic sand or something like that. I think it would make a really lovely gift to give someone. So that is our last project that I'm sharing with you today. So there you have it. I hope that you're inspired to make one of these projects for a little kid in your life. And if you do have a go at making one of these projects that I've shared today, I'd love to see a picture of it. You can tag me on Instagram at mymum.marie, or you can use the hashtag #ShowMySew so that I know you would like me to share your project on my channel in a future video. I'd love for you to click the subscribe button down below, which will help YouTube to know to send some more of my videos your way. And if you've enjoyed this video, I'd love for you to press the like button down below. All of the videos that I mentioned today are linked down in the description box, so you might like to have a look down there of what video of mine you would like to watch next. So thanks again for watching this video. Go get creative, and I'll see you later.